Alright, I'll call this meeting to order, select board's, second meeting for January, 2024. First order of business is pledge allegiance, so everybody please join in. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's what I heard, thank you.
Now we're moving.
Thank you. Tonight, we're gonna recognize Ed White, before we do any other business. I know he'd like to get home early. He spent a lot of nights here, a lot of late meetings. Individual was very committed to, seeing Swanton improve. Never really had an agenda other than that I could ever see. Certainly concerned about the citizens in here in this community and the welfare. And the image that Swanton projects outside of his community too was something that he was very realized how important that was. So Ed, I want to personally thank you on behalf of the people of Swanton for your service here on the Swanton Selectboard. And we are going to present you with a flag.
It opens the other way.
Oh.
No,
The side.
the,
Oh.
no, the other, facing it. There we go. There.
I'm gonna take it out of here. It's a nice shiny one too.
Over the clock and all.
Oops, let me look through here.
Sit and watch it.
All right, Ed, don't want to keep your hand. Read what it says. The Town of Swanton presents with grateful appreciation to Ed White Sr. for dedicated service to the community as a member of the Swanton Select Board from 2020 to 2023 as a member and 2023 as vice chair. Thank you for your service.
Can we take a picture of him?
Nope, let me get out of the picture.
Matter your parole officer didn't know where you were.
Well, because when people see the picture, they're gonna be like, oh, it's
Roll it
cool.
by name.
Yes, you wait. Listen, Ed wants to speak.
Address the board. This was the second hardest decision I ever made in my life. I enjoyed my time and I enjoyed everybody in this room. And I gotta say, the most important thing to me was I heard from everybody in this room. And that meant a lot to me. And I remember, I gotta say this, Kathy. I never quite knew how to take Kathy. I think I had this conversation with Earl. You know, she was always pleasant to me. I didn't know if she liked me or she didn't. But she sent me a beautiful email and I will forever appreciate that, Kathy. So I guess I knew where I stood with
Yeah. I hope so.
And then, the day that I went in and told Brian that I needed to resign, first thing Brian said he understood. He said, well, Ed, is there anyone that you could recommend to take your seat? And I said, there's only one person that comes to my mind. And he said, who is it? I said, Joel Clark. And Joel.
Thank you.
The thing that's easier for me is I feel that Swanton Town has the best board that they've ever had right now, and I have all my confidence. Will always have an open ear if anybody wants to chat. And like I said, the thing that is most important to me, it had nothing to do with anybody on this board. This is personal, that something that I had to do for me. So I thank you very much. I'm gonna go home and put my feet up. Have a good night.
Ed, have a good night.
Okay, we can move on to agenda review. Is there anything that needs to be added? Everybody's well aware, we will have executive session tonight. There's a couple issues we have to discuss, legal issues, and real estate too.
Oops, go ahead, Brian.
You know, under any other necessary business, we have to renew some liquor licenses.
Okay.
The two letters,
And
Those are in there.
Yeah.
the two.
right, the two letters are in there, but
Yeah.
we should put them on the, like under old business or something, or? I
There,
mean,
well, that's under follow-up discussion of public hearing.
Okay,
That's what-
yeah,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
very good.
That's it?
That's all I.
Okay, so then we can move on to the minutes, and we got 3 sets of them, or you want, can we do it all in one motion?
I make a motion that we approve them all at once, so January 2nd, January 10th, and January 11th.
I'll second that.
And you will know in the minutes which, because there's a special meeting in there. Okay, two, a public hearing and a special meeting. All right, motion been made and seconded to approve the minutes, all those in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Motion carries. Law enforcement, animal control, Swanton animal control report, and I believe you have something in there.
I do. I do.
Well,
So oh, go ahead.
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I got a phone call from Mr. Benson saying that there was, throughout that, I can't remember what day it was. There was on Facebook, there was a Rottweiler that was running loose throughout Swanton, and they were trying to locate the owner. People had ideas, but we tried reaching out. There was no answer or anything like that. Jim had went to actually a couple residences. No one answered. Unfortunately, the dog did end up getting hit and killed down on North River Street. Jim typically in the past would call BEVS,
what
which is
is BEVS?
it's the emergency hospital, animal hospital.
In Wilson.
Yeah, in Wilson, to take the animal, but they said no more.
yeah.
So then Jim called me, didn't know what to do with it, so he brought it to me. Now, so I'm holding on to the deceased dog, and I don't know if this has ever come up before, but I don't mind doing that, obviously, but I don't know what to do. The next steps would be because I'm afraid that if we do something with the deceased animal, then the next day, just my luck, somebody be like, hey, I was on vacation and the person watching my dog or something let him out and didn't tell us, and now I want my dog back. What do I do then? So I just was looking for some advice on what the next step would be, appropriate step.
Okay, anybody got any thoughts?
When this happened?
I sent it on the 11th, and it happened. Oh my gosh! At the beginning of that week, I guess it was, maybe the end of the previous week. But I've been storing it respectfully.
where's the dog
So
being
it'll be
stored?
2
In
weeks into
outdoors
this
or
week?
in the freezer?
Yeah, we
2 weeks the end of this week.
yeah we have 7 freezers. So.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping it there, and I don't particularly mind per se. That's not really the point. The point is
No.
respect the animal. I'd like to somehow find the owner. I've put Facebook posts. Jim has put Facebook posts. No one's come forward, so we don't know if it's just a drop off. I didn't know if we had a certain time frame we had to wait, and then say, hey, no one claimed the animal, so we can dispose of it.
Would you be aware of any state statutes pertaining to animal control that we would have to follow?
If the animal was alive, there's a time period, but then once that's gone by, then it's put up for adoption.
Right.
Or however, in this case, the animal is deceased, so I think, it's been going on, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I would think that it's probably now to be either buried or disposed of, and it's
Yeah, I mean, something's gonna happen, it can't go on forever, and what do you got in the freezer?
Yeah.
yeah.
all by itself.
So I
Well,
don't know.
Oh, no, I understand.
Can't put it in the freezer with my pork chops,
Yeah.
so
I don't know if, how digging in this time of year now.
ain't happening.
No,
Oh,
but
you could dig it.
Yeah.
What day did you wanna do it?
Right off, the sooner the better, obviously, but, yeah, you could dig right now if you had to.
Yeah.
You got a big enough backhoe, there's not that much frost in the ground
no,
yet.
there wasn't the last
Yeah.
I knew, but,
Where?
Well, that's the issue, where?
where?
Or do we look into crematorium?
You could have it cremated, but there is a charge for that.
There is a
which
charge
would
and it's
probably take-
$300-400 or something like that.
Really?
Is it that much?
I
I've had I had to do
up
two
by the
dogs.
salt shed. Move one of the piles out back, the ground won't be frozen.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't wanna get in the habit of this, but I don't think we wanna cremate the dog. We've got a picture of the dog. If someone comes looking and, yeah, that was my dog, well, deceased, we couldn't find an owner and we
He's
took
out
care of it.
back.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah.
I was just worried about
Yeah, you can't keep
down
it
the
in the
road.
freezer
I
forever.
can't keep it in the freezer
You-
forever. I'm running that freezer just for that
yeah,
dog. So.
that's,
You've
you
done,
shouldn't
you're
be-
above and beyond.
Yeah,
Yeah, you shouldn't be paying to keep that dog on ice, I
Right.
mean, that's not really fair.
That was nice of you to do that.
right.
Well, I was just
Very
worried.
nice.
You
I
get
know,
a situation.
but now you need to get
I
rid
gotta
of
be
it, and make
practical,
sure you have no
yeah.
liability.
I think
Correct.
you've done your due diligence and, and Jim has, he's
Yeah.
checked, so, I mean, what else can we, it's probably unfortunately a drop off and.
which is really sad. But
Did the
It is.
post say that they wouldn't be fined or anything for it? I wonder if it's somebody that doesn't have any money, if they're concerned they'd be fined or.
I just said, please contact me. I wasn't planning on going down that avenue. I kind of just wanted them to come
Just in case that.
get their dog, you know.
But they should get buried
Yeah.
and,
Maybe talk to Kev.
Kevin,
And, yeah, try to call him sometime tomorrow, won't be early, but maybe before noon, and, see if he can,
Yeah.
and then I'll tell him to, contact you to coordinate picking it up.
Yeah.
That's all agreeable with all the members?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
Alright.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks again, Cody.
Yep.
no, general orders, expenditures. Anybody got any questions on the general orders? For 12/20 to 12/31, that's the closes out the books for the year.
I'll make a motion to approve the general orders from 12/20/2023 to 12/31/2023 for $43,698.52.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the general orders for the dates and the amount stated. Is there any more discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Now we'll go on to the highway orders, and just so everybody know, Kevin's not gonna be here tonight.
Okay.
Yes.
But he wanted to relay, the only really big exciting thing was we finally got our excavator back.
That's cool.
And he's very happy with the highway budget has its percentage here tonight, and I know we gotta take a look at it because we got all the final figures, but he's comfortable, very comfortable, happy to do a little extra paving. So, does anybody have any questions on the highway? Ain't very much money.
Make a motion, we approve the highway orders 12/20 to 12/31/2023.
Second,
Alright, the motion's been made and seconded to approve the highway orders for the date and amount stated. Is there any discussion? Not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. The next one, now we got library on the sheet, but I'm going down through this, where is it here? We got ARPA first here. Okay.
Right behind you.
So you wanna go ahead and do ARPA right now, with
Why not?
the next one in order?
sure.
Alright,
I can't even what?
I'll have to look at this one and if there can be some orders.
Oh, it's fine, they always go by the order on there.
I'll make a motion to approve the ARPA orders dated 12/20/23 to 12/31/2023 in the amount of $8,976.97.
No second.
alright, motion's been approved, been made to approve the orders for ARPA for the dates and amounts stated. Is there any discussion?
Just, that is the final bill. They had come in at over 10,000, I think, and then that is the final bill. That's 8,000 something, whatever that was that, was on the,
8,976.
yeah, that's for the archaeological. So we
Well, that would
we won't see a bill for the balance.
Yeah, and so it's been it cleared the test.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Cleared the test and sent us just the one bill, and I talked to them and they said that's all they're sending.
So can I clarify something on that?
Yes.
Is that 10,000 above and beyond the 90? Or did it come out of the 90?
It comes out of the
Okay, I
yes.
just wanted-
Let me check. Yes, I put it in. We'll talk about that with the update, but I
Okay,
did put
okay.
it in with the matching, because
Okay,
it should be eligible for the matching money.
I just wanted to make
Yes.
sure I
Yep.
didn't account for it.
Good question.
So it'll go towards our match, that 10,000.
The bill will be part of the overall cost of the LVRT, and we'll get 80% of that back.
Okay,
That's awesome.
all right, so any other discussion on that? Not, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, now well, the next one is the library orders.
I'll make a motion that we approve the library orders for the period of 12/20/23 through 12/31/23 in the amount of $4,529.45.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to approve the library orders for the dates and amounts as stated. Is there any discussion on that?
Just one question on the Alliance Mechanical, and it says maintenance. Is that part of the maintenance contract or is
Yeah.
that outside?
No, that's part of the contract.
Okay, so that's it, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Now we're gonna go on to payroll, highway and general, all in one package.
I'll make a motion to approve the highway general payroll orders from 12/20/23 to 12/31/2023 out of $16,196.72.
I'll second it.
All right, motion been made and seconded to approve the highway and general, payroll orders for the date and amount stated. Is there any discussion? Not, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Now we'll go on to the library payroll.
Make a motion, we approve the library payroll 12/20 to 12/31/2023.
You got a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve the library payroll orders for the dates and amounts as stated. Is there any discussion?
Did Helen get 2 checks?
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Yeah,
there's
one
two,
was the sick check.
that's what I was just gonna ask.
We didn't have very many checks, so.
No, they get paid every other week,
Oh, I
so
see.
you might have,
Mhm.
could end up with 1 week or 2 weeks, depending on how the orders hit.
All right, is there any other discussion on that? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, now we'll go on to the highway department. Did you wanna do that highway department budget, right? Was that what the plan was?
It's whatever you wanna do,
Well, we might just well get it over with.
okay?
General fund, general fund.
It's the single page, with the
Yep.
small print.
Yep. Okay, this is now,
Where did you see all that?
I did get a copy of this, so I'm assuming, does that mean all this has to be added to that
No, that's the that's the
No, the budget,
carryover,
Carryover.
including
the
that?
highway budget.
That is just the.
Should be a
This is-
single, you
yeah,
should have a single
and It's the
page.
188, 534,
No?
47, the 71,350
Okay,
from 78, and the $10,000.
Christina, can I get the other budgets?
So
Yeah.
it's 269, 891.
I just have
That
the general
is the
fund.
total.
That's it.
Total, which one do you need?
Including
The highway.
Including
Yeah.
those things.
Is that, are we doing three
That's
then?
a single page highway.
Yeah, thanks. You just got looked
Oh, you
over.
think, what are
What?
you, if you have something else?
No, you just gave me one general fund, that's it.
You should have 2 generals and a highway.
Yeah,
No,
I got extra ones here.
it's alright, I know you didn't mean it.
Well, you guys looking over, I guess if you wanna get right down to the bottom line, it looks like it's a 9 cent increase, a little less than that.
Don't let mine, I don't know if it's in there.
So at 9 cents and average home at, let's say, 250, what's that translate into?
225?
Let's see, $110.
What is it, point oh? Oh, yeah, on the highway.
I'm just talking about the increase.
The 0.842.
Yeah.
I was using your 9.
201.05.
201.
$210.
Yeah,
210.
210.50.
That's the increase in taxes for a $350,000.
250.
I'm sorry,
Remember-
250,000.
250, so,
Okay,
but
let's, wanna make this clear right now, that more than half of that increase is coming from the increase in the police, proposal. Okay? There is, so the rest of the increase, how much is actual highway?
The highway increase,
Well, that's 160,000 highway increase. No, 100. You're going from 11. It was budgeted at 1340 and you're going to 1.5, so that's 160,000 there. And the police is about 280.
Yeah. Because
So it's about 30% highway and about 60%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
70% to the police. So I don't know, you know, I mean, we kinda got some options here. We got 250,000 on that truck. Right?
yes.
That would still leave 19,000 out of that carryover. Or we have the article for the 50,000, so we could use 50,000 out of the truck fund. And that would leave 50 and 19, you'd end up with 69,000 left in carryover. Would that change the tax rate much, Kathy?
no.
No.
When you say it would be left in carryover, I don't quite get that. That 50,000 that is capital needs to stay and be used for
Yeah.
equipment purchases.
If we purchase a
Right, not
truck.
now, what he's saying is the 50,000 we got coming for next year, because we're not gonna get the truck till the end of next year, so we'll have an extra $50,000. Not an extra, we'll have our
Right.
allocation into our account for.
Rather
equipment.
than use the whole 100,000.
So right now,
Yeah.
the highway has $269,000 is extra money in their budget. From the Route 78 sidewalk, from the money that wasn't spent in the budget, and from the reimbursement we got from the paving, underneath the 188,534 in the middle.
Yeah, I see that.
So if you add those three together, it's 269,854. So normally we either carry over a little bit of that and put it in contingency fund, or you can, and goes into the balance on hand and it deducts money from what we need to raise by taxes.
But we have to pay for the truck
Right.
Well, we got enough money to pay for the truck, right?
if we use that carryover.
If we use a carryover.
And we have 100,000 in the truck fund.
Right.
I mean, you could actually pull 100,000, you got 50,000 going in there, again, it's starting over, but cost of equipment today, you know, even if we don't do anything for another 6 or 7 years, we're probably gonna take all what's in there to buy another truck.
Right. Which
So,
is okay.
You know, so those are
That's what I
the
said.
options you could consider if you're trying to lower the tax rate, but, you know, 50, 60,000 doesn't seem to change the rate very much.
I wanna go back to what we tabled as well.
Yeah.
Are we expecting in 2025 to be spending let's say, or budgeting 250,000 for road improvement.
We probably would go back to that because we're up to 350 this year because of Swan Hill.
No, I understand.
Yeah, okay.
So are we expecting to have to come up with more, another 250 to
No.
use in 2025?
Not according to discussions I've had with Kevin, there's nothing big, of course, you never know now, okay, all right. But I'm just saying,
Right.
there's nothing that he sees this year that would require a major, other than trying to get that done up there.
Right, so that's where I'm interested
Yeah.
in cutting the 325, and if we really get to where we're gonna do that in 2024, is we borrow some money and put it in as a smaller line item next year. I really would like to show the taxpayers that we're trying to hold the line because we hit them pretty good on the police. I know overall it's not a big increase, but when we show that it's, right now it's 12.46%, it sounds like a pretty good increase compared to what people are getting in their paychecks.
We just talked about it, I mean, if you're looking at $210 on an average home.
No, that included the,
Yeah,
that included the
yeah.
police as well, but
Yeah.
we can cut that. You could almost take that 160 out and then cut it by a third. If we end up doing the road, we take out a loan and we put that into the line item for the budget next year, and it would hold this budget almost the same amount for next year.
Yeah.
And we would pay,
Of course, next year-
12 months of interest.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea in a way, because next year we won't be buying a truck, so if there is some kind of carryover, then we can apply it
Right,
to that, as long as everybody on the board is agreeable to doing this, because, you know, we really are trying to get that project done.
I fully understand.
But you're right, something could come out that would shut it down, that's true, you know, because we don't have everybody signed, we don't have all the permits and everything. Or an agreement with the landowner, so in writing anyways. So it's quite possible, but as long as you guys are agreeing to that we, you know, because we could borrow the money like we were gonna do down here in McCollum Shore. And then carry it into next year's budget, see what next year's budget, because that's exactly what happened with McCollum Shore, he had enough carryover money to pay it. And we didn't have to even borrow the money.
Yeah, I'm interested in cutting that in half.
Well, then you're starting to get, yeah, if you're talking 100,000 and then maybe another 50,000 of that carryover, then you got knocking down 150,000, that would help.
Yeah, you could almost,
Yeah,
you could get the 325 in half.
Yeah,
And that's, so there's 160, and then if you say any of the carryover, then you're talking almost 200,000 dropping that.
That's half our increase for the fire department, for the police department.
It certainly helps offset it.
Yep.
Yep.
but if you cut that 325 in half and it turns out to be 350,000, then we'll have to vote up. But I think we can live with that and see what happens with the carryover next year, not having that truck.
Well, Kathy's gonna have to factor the interest expense in there, but it's not a high rate compared to other rates.
No, and it would only be short term if we used it anyways, you know,
Yep.
maybe 3 or 4 months at the most, you know.
I think with the amount of stuff they've had thrown at them already, the increases, whether it be on the state level or and everything else,
What do you think?
that's a huge.
I agree, I think anywhere that we can manage it so the taxpayers are getting the less of an increase right now is really important.
Okay.
To me, it gives you a talking point.
Yep.
When we have our public meeting too, of
Yep.
some things we do to try to offset the police increase.
Yeah, I think that was.
Just a thought.
Okay,
So you wanna make it 162.5?
yep, you want to cut it in half, and 162.5.
But please make it documented somewhere that financing would be an option,
That's gonna be in the minutes too.
I know we're still gonna fund the capital reserve, we're gonna put that on hold.
No, which capital reserve? The general fund or the highway one? The highway one is still
No,
gonna
I'm
be
talking
there.
the equpint reserve.
Yeah, no, that's still gonna come in, that's still on there.
Yeah.
Good,
yeah.
good, okay.
No, we're not pulling that off. In fact, what I'm proposing is that we use 50,000, which is roughly half of that right now, to pay for that truck, and then that would leave us 69,000 in carryover money left. That I guess if you're gonna, we could make it an even 200,000 drop. Cause you got 160 by cutting the other one in half, take another, what, 35,000? To make it 100, to make it 200.
You mean from the carryover?
Yeah, from the carryover. You know, if we cut the other one in half, and then what's it gonna take to get 200,000?
47.5.
Are you saying cut in the,
No, I'm
what's
saying,
the
no,
200?
you're cutting, I'm talking about the road improvement.
Right,
So we got 160,000 there.
162,500, and if you wanna make it 200,000, you're talking 37,500.
Okay, so then, if we have this carryover amount here, and we take that 37,000 out of there.
right. So you're dropping the road improvement to
Right.
125. You take, okay.
Right, plus, and plus we're taking 50,000 out of the truck fund now. We have 100,000 in there right now. But
Right.
you're gonna take, and of course, we're putting the 50, so at the end of the year, we're still gonna have 100,000. You know, I hate to take the whole 100,000 out.
Okay, I wanna make sure I got the right numbers. So you said
Yeah.
you were cutting the road improvement in half to
Yeah.
162.5, but Joel, you said 125?
No, I think what Earl was saying, by taking some of the carryover, we added to actually drop it by 200,000. I
Yeah.
think that's what Earl's saying,
Yeah.
down to 125.
Yeah. Take it, no, not the road improvement, just use that money it's be revenue money coming
So-
in. See what
Oh, I'm sorry, okay, so we're saying once again, okay,
I'm gonna use that as revenue.
okay.
So you wanna, out of the 269,854, you wanna take 37.5 and
Yeah.
put it on the balance on hand to reduce the amount you raised by taxes.
Yes, but Kathy, we're gonna pull 50,000 out of the truck account right now, the capital, improvement fund, right?
When the time comes.
Yes, when you pay for the truck,
Right.
yes. And then we're gonna take the rest, the other 200,000 out of this carryover.
So in that case, do you wanna take $200,000 will be for the truck,
Yes,
and then use the 69,854.97 as the amount to be deducted to lower the taxes?
well, here's what I'm gonna propose right now. I was saying, what I'm proposing is we're gonna take 37,000 of that remaining to make it 200,000.
Okay.
Now we're reducing, you know, the whole budget. Leave the rest in the contingency fund in case we do have some issues that come up this year.
Okay, I just need some help. I do not understand where this 269, 854 is coming from.
Okay.
That's the carryover.
No, I understand there's 71,000 from the sidewalk,
Correct.
and then there's the paving 10, so that's 81,000.
And then above it, there's 188,534.47.
But when I look at that, it looks like we're adding the truck, the town garage. Those aren't it, okay, so I don't understand what that 188
That's the
is.
variance between
So
actual.
if you look in this column, your first column here, that was the budget. The next column is what was spent,
Yeah,
and the bottom line is what was left over in the budget.
oh, so the third column is the variant, the 188 is from, oh,
That's
okay.
That's what we call variance.
So now you added the 188, the 71, and the 10, but I was looking at the stuff above the 188
Oh,
and adding down, and I'm like, no,
no, the below.
Got it, so 188, 71, and 10 is your 269, sorry,
Yeah,
I needed
that's
to
all right.
just
No,
get
that's
that in my
fine.
head.
Let's tell us again what you proposing, of that surplus of 269,8.
So 32,354.97 will go to the contingency fund. 37,500 will go to reduce the amount of
Yeah.
money raised by taxes, and
Yeah.
the $200,000 will be for.
That's what I proposed, but
And
what
what's
was
the
your
200
question again, Steve,
I just got you said the 200 is gonna be for what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear
For
that.
the truck,
for the truck?
purchase of the truck.
And then we'll take the 50,000 out of the truck fund, and the truck's paid for, that leaves us 69,000 here. So we're gonna take part of that to make it, to drop the entire budget by, 200,000. And then we're gonna keep the remaining, which is almost dead, it's almost the same, right?
Well, it's 32,354.97, which will go to the contingency.
So we're
Put
gonna,
that into a contingency fund in case we do have some issues this
Good
year that
idea.
we're not planning for.
but we're gonna take 200,000
Yep,
of that 269
yep,
and use that to offset our costs, our expenses.
Yeah, instead of raising taxes, yeah.
Well, we're still gonna raise taxes.
It wasn't, I thought it was for the truck.
For the truck.
Yeah, it's for the truck.
200,000 off that for the truck. So you pay for the truck, then you have a leftover
Another,
of
and then we're gonna
69,000.
take another 30 something
Right.
to add to the 160 we cut out of this to make it 200,000 off that,
Right,
that
Off the
budget.
entire budget.
100%.
How much are we taking from all of these sources to reduce taxes?
200,000.
200,000.
200, like all I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Okay,
And it's it's, you know, it's not gonna change the tax rate enormously, but I mean,
well, it's something.
we're doing
yeah.
all we can.
At least we're telling them we're
Yes.
doing something, because again, these are small compared to the school
Yeah.
budgets, but
Right.
it's what we can
Yeah.
control and we can do.
Yeah, and
Which is
I,
important.
yeah, and I'm really comfortable with this because we're gonna have that additional funding in there for paving. We're still committed to the Swanton Hill project, so, you know, and I know Kevin will be happy with this proposed budget as we talked about.
It fully supports them, it's just
Yeah.
a different way
Yeah.
of getting to the money.
Yeah,
And we're still authorizing Brian to borrow, or Kathy to borrow, $37,500 on our line of credit.
No.
no, we don't need.
We don't need
We
Not
don't
right
need,
now.
we don't need to
Good,
borrow any
I
money.
like that, because it's not good business to borrow for operating expenses.
No,
We
no.
never borrow money
No.
unless it's absolutely necessary.
The only
Yeah.
time we will borrow money is if the Swan Hill project goes forward.
Understand?
And that's when we would do it.
Yep.
So it's not for operating expenses, for road improvement, so that's all. That makes it very appropriate.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when they do that, they usually go out of business later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
That's why I don't like when we build the line item and carry it each year when we don't need to, when it should be just a one-time,
Yep.
anyway.
You know, something else would be useful too. I think this is a pretty good budget, and we're lucky we've got a highway department that's very frugal, and all of our employees are. But the messenger or whoever is gonna publish this, can we give them a sheet, Brian, of maybe some explaining if the increase, and by the way, they did a good job. I don't know if anybody saw the messenger today.
Not today,
They did an excellent job covering the meeting and some other stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe you could give them some talking points highlighting what the impact of the fire protection
yeah.
and the police protection has. So it doesn't look like we've been,
Is that going in your selectman report, Brian?
It
Yeah,
will,
so it'll
yeah.
definitely be in
So
there.
that would be the best one, because
Right.
that's gonna have all the information
All
on
the-
everything
all
we've
the-
done.
but I just thought in case they don't wait for the report.
Well, that would be nice to have on hand because, I know that the reporter is gonna, once this gets finalized, he's gonna want
Yeah.
detail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and in all fairness to them, we can add
Yeah.
something for them.
In fact, I might, give him a call, if he does call me, I'm gonna reference him back to Brian
Yeah.
and Kathy. Cause you got the numbers here, you know, I got a general idea up here, but, you know, we wanna get into the specifics of the impacts of these various things. You're the people they need to talk to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, I mean,
Well, then I guess we should say that we're gonna approve the budget for 2024 for the highway department as discussed. Does everybody, or should we,
And what's the amount? The motion should carry the amount.
okay, so what's gonna be the bottom line here with, I mean, cause you got the highway department, then you have all these other articles, you know. Do you wanna do the total amount?
I think so.
But the only thing is Kathy has to refigure some of this.
right, I can do that,
What if she does that when we go into executive session?
perfect.
Yeah,
And then
okay,
we can come
I'll
out
have
of
it done,
executive
we can have-
session,
yeah.
because
Alright.
that way we don't stop the.
okay.
Keep it flowing.
So now we can move on to the, you got the Old Town.
Yeah.
Oh, we did highway, so now we're going to Old Town, follow up on
No, we
discussion.
gotta do the general fund.
We might as well do
Yeah.
that.
Oh, you wanna do that one too?
Okay,
so
Okay, yeah, so you know. Thinking you.
So you have two of them in front of you,
Yeah.
and one of them, you'll notice Fourth Street testing,
have
that's what
one.
I called it. One has $25,000 in it, and one does not have $25,000 in it. Because Joe wanted to know what the impact was with or without that in the budget, so the one without it, the rate is 0.3,
3%.
no, 0.1772, and with it in it, the rate is 0.1807.
Yep.
Where'd you get the 1807, Kath?
On page 2, it's,
Yeah, page 2 on both of them.
yeah, the second
Down toward the bottom,
from the bottom.
kinda got like a box.
2024 projected.
Yeah.
Okay, I only have one
Yeah, I got,
copy.
okay, so that's the,
And I've
yeah, you
got-
only got one,
You
too.
got,
Oh, I didn't get the other one.
Yeah, I didn't either.
They were going around pretty fast.
yeah,
Yeah.
So it's a 3,
What is it?
0.35, 0.31, so it's a 4.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like a half a
Do you have
penny.
one with or without it?
It's like a half a penny, so.
What I've got here, Kathy, is
Let me take a peek.
it projected general town 1772. That's when Vermont was from.
Okay, so that's the one without the 25,000.
Okay, and I'm looking,
No, I just didn't get it when it came around, that's all.
which one does he
So
need?
I got the one with it in it,
Where is it?
this one.
Just give me the number, I'll just write it down, that's
So
okay.
this is one with the 25,000 in it, so that's the,
Okay.
so it's a difference.
Yeah, it's not gonna be 25,000 if we go, the proposal is in the package, it's less. Basically, they'll keep the same price they gave us last year.
And the town plan expense, that is going for the zoning bylaw update, right? Cause we're done the town plan. I assume,
Second, where are we here?
down there waiting.
So you're, what you were, Joel, was for the forestry testing, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Was it
2,000?
25,000?
No, yeah, it was,
I'm on
and it's
that hour,
because of the zoning bylaw update, so the other 10 is to cover the rest of that cost, I assume.
What is that on a $250,000 house though?
That's what I'm trying to
That's
figure
a
out right
typo,
now,
that
it's
should
not
only be
much.
I don't
$2,000.
even know how to figure that out, so I don't
Cause
know.
Ed had asked that we keep $2,000 in the budget
Okay,
every
so
year.
where-
It's the next, the line item down, the $8,000.
That is for
That's
that.
it,
That's
so I
it.
gotta
Okay, all right.
change, I gotta
Right.
change that 10 to 2.
So Kathy, the difference in the two increases is 0.0035. We multiply that times 350,000 or times 3,500?
35.
3,500.
Yeah, so that's what I thought, so it's only like $9
Yeah, it's,
for the year.
it's not a lot of money, no.
It's, so, yeah, it's,
You
This,
gotta get up to
this is
two, yeah.
$9 and on the home tax.
It's a half a cent.
yeah. So where did the
That's an
total
important
budget?
talking point, if you give this stuff to the paper.
Why increase so
Yeah.
much?
Yeah, $9.
No, I mean, so a 3% increase between the two is only $9 different.
Yeah,
That's on the 25,000.
that's on 25,000.
That's just the, on the 25,000.
Right, no, just the
right.
25,000, but that's, I guess that 9, 10 times, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's,
When you figure the number of homes,
yeah,
Right.
The 25,000 is $9.
25,000, but your grand list
But
is
this-
5 million.
All of this
Millions.
is how much of an increase, so we just saw the increase on the,
right, that's right, cause it's just the 25 is the increase, but there's still a 10%.
I want everybody to be aware of this, for the first time, the town is paying, child care tax on the
Yeah,
payroll.
that's a new one.
That's a new tax.
we're paying what?
Child care tax on the
That wasn't on
payroll.
there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
This one it is.
and that will
Just
start
started.
July
Yeah.
1st.
Just wait, give it 2 or
Just
3 years.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
on this one, wrong on this one. That's good, hopefully it's good on one.
I feel
Uh,
But while we're
I'm circling.
talking this, Mr. Chair, because I was gonna do the LVRT first. There's a dollar figure in there that we should be talking with the general budget or ARPA.
Well, that was supposed to be ARPA funded.
Okay.
Well, are you talking about, a match or?
A match of 30, from us would be a match of 33,295.
Is that for the entire thing or?
We've already got 90. So
Yeah.
it would increase that to
An
123,
So
295.
you're bringing in additional funding?
Yes.
How much?
Well, we would bring in an additional 93,795 from the state.
Only 93,000 for,
The total project's about 460 from the state. This is just, we had a January deadline, and the engineers got us the new estimate. They went down some. I still think they're a little high, but again, this is federal money. So they've got our line item budgeted for mobilization for $50,000. All you're gonna do is bring in a few pieces of heavy equipment, but when we add it all together, the total project is 635.
And that 30,000 gets us 90, net 60, is that correct?
The 33, we added to our 90, plus the Swanton enhancement gave us $3,800. So we have 127,090. State's given us $500,000 for a total of 635,451.
So,
Takes money to get money.
you're talking about adding a line item for that or using ARPA money?
Correct. And I'm suggesting ARPA, but I know,
Yeah, well, it was our intent, at least when we did this, from my understanding, and you correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, I don't know if Steve was here, but I'm sure Nicole, and, oh yeah, you must,
That was
no.
me.
Well, we had that discussion that we were gonna use the ARPA fund to meet our match.
For the little.
Yeah, that was before Steve and I.
Okay, that was what the board was.
correct. And
Yeah.
then there's this increase, you know, and
Yeah, I know, we talked about this before, that
Yeah.
we were looking for additional funding, and they got approved, so now we have to increase our match.
and technically the state has not approved it yet.
Yeah.
We submitted it, all the paperwork, so they're going through their process, but they want the Swanton Trailhead to happen.
Oh, yeah. I'm
So
sure. Either we do it or they do.
Right.
Their budget.
Well, all right, then we'll just plan, everybody's agreeable that, you know, when the time comes, that we would pay the rest of that match through the ARPA funds.
Okay.
What's the match?
37.
33,295.
That's in addition to the 90,000.
Okay, just wanted to put it in my numbers.
No, absolutely, and I just.
And I did the math too.
Yeah.
That we actually have $465,000 left in ARPA, not 365.
465,000.
Okay, that might be interesting.
Yeah, I thought,
I went through and re-added everything.
no way
today.
that library
Four-
installation is gonna be 400,000.
I wouldn't think so.
Diversity.
No, if it is, then
456,
insulation.
I'll do the job.
087.
Is that
Because the building
net of the
contract.
600 that we kind of put one side? For
Yes,
Yeah.
that includes everything that's
Yeah.
been spent on library
Yeah.
here,
Good.
Monavale Rail Trail, the rec department.
Which even if we're gonna spend a little extra, that's gonna prove to be one of the better investments for our community.
I
The
believe,
railhead-
yes,
Yeah.
Trailhead, whatever the hell you call
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, we have a chance to really market and
Yeah.
try to promote that, absolutely.
Even more reason for the town highway
Got some ideas.
property.
It's up to you, kid. Get it done.
So do we want a motion on that?
That we will, yeah, I guess.
I need a motion
I'll
on it,
make a motion,
for that motion for the
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we increase the town's part of the grant for the LVRT trailhead, an additional $33,295.
Second that.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to increase the, our match for the, trailhead for the amount stated. Is there any more discussion?
Did you want to add that it's coming out of the
Yeah.
from that
Yeah, it's
motion?
coming
Yeah,
from our,
yeah.
And,
That's
okay,
why I
amend
need
that,
it.
that it would be coming out of the ARPA funds.
Yeah, ARPA funds, okay, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, is that it? All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. So we'll go back to the general budget. I'm looking through here, I don't really find much that we could do about it. There's no new proposals in here. What's your thoughts on it?
Just have a question so I can understand this. This is the first time I've do this. All of these extras, age well, FCIDC, home health, what does that come to, Kathy? The 37?
37,297.
Okay. All right.
And the only new one we added on, we had that discussion this morning, Brian, it was the Abnaki.
Abnaki. Right, that's right. And I said accidentally 5,000 this morning, it's 3,000.
Yeah.
And are we working on the budget now that we pulled the 25 out of?
No, well, yeah, I
We
guess.
got two, we got one with and
You got
one
two,
without.
everything's the same except for that 25.
I think you and I got just one.
No, proposed is the one with,
Yeah, I got it.
without it,
Oh.
and the other one,
I just got the one.
oh, you're the one,
Yeah, I gotta
okay.
share with you, sorry.
No,
Oh, $5 difference.
It's a small amount, but I'm interested in, taking the 25 out of ARPA, especially when I hear we got 480.
Yeah, and that's my whole concern, Joe, is the family we got extra money, so we're gonna go use it. And we still got some commitments that we're liable for, and, you know, until we get an answer on it. And it's a mute point, if we take it out now, then we gotta, spend it, raise taxes afterwards to make it up, you know, I don't know. You guys can do what you want, but I don't think we can change this general fund budget much, we're not gonna gain a lot by taking that 25,000 out, and
This is one without.
Less than $1 a month, right?
What was the 25 again for?
$9.
The
25.
testing of the 4th Street
Oh,
property.
okay, I'm sorry, yeah, I forgot.
What, besides the library insulation?
we don't know if it's gonna be more than insulation if it's gonna be done right. We might even end up moving them furnaces out of there,
Out of the attic?
yeah.
The new furnaces?
Yeah, the new furnaces. Unfortunately, I mean, its setup is doomed to fail the way it was designed. You know, and we haven't got a final report yet from him.
No.
He was gonna make some recommendation. I mean, there are some cheaper options, but still, even the cheap option is gonna be quite expensive. You know, if you just wanna go up there and foam insulate all underneath the rafters to keep the heat in, but you're still heating the attic. Not a very efficient way of heating a building. So, you know, I mean, long-term solutions are probably gonna be quite expensive. I can see it be quite expensive. But you gotta look at that building as something that, you know, we plan, at least in my mind, that, you know, it should be there 100 years from now, if not longer.
No, it definitely should, and I'm all for doing the work there, and I'm all for looking at what we get from the engineers and the architects and evaluating it
Yeah.
and making our decisions at the time.
Well, we do have Laz working on that, and hopefully we're gonna get something fairly soon.
Did he give you an ETA on that, Brian?
No, not really, because he says it's quite complicated, but
I'm sure
we're
it is.
working on it.
And he was kinda doing us a favor by doing it,
Yeah.
because he couldn't really get anybody else to even
Right.
look at it. He's trying to fit in his schedule, I guess, as best he can.
Yeah, see, the furnaces being in the attic certainly are, I don't know why they were ever designed to go up there, when originally they were down in where the Historical Society, that's where they were originally, in that was the basement, that's
Yeah.
where they were. How they moved up there, I don't know, and now if we move them, where are we gonna move them to?
Back in that room.
Yep.
That we're spending all kinds of money to fix
Yeah,
up.
that gets into some real big issues.
Yeah.
I have a question. I remember going to one of the select board meetings when the ARPA first came out. When do we have to spend that? Wasn't there a
We
deadline?
need to get it, we need to, within the next couple of months, get it earmarked for what we're gonna use it for. And then that's what we'll use it for and nothing else.
And I guess what might be a reasonable compromise, listening to what Kathy's got to say here, is if you guys are agreeable to set $350,000 aside for the library repairs, and then, you know, that's gonna leave us 100,000 or a little less, and then, you know, if you're really insistent on taking that 25 out, go ahead. But I just wanna ensure that there's some money there.
If we don't, say we earmark 350, that might be a good idea, Al, for the library repairs, we don't use it all. Then can we use it for something else?
We could if we didn't need it, yes.
Okay,
No,
No,
no.
what do you mean, no, we can,
Once you earmark it,
They have
That's
to
it.
be
it
spent
has to
for
be
it.
used for that. You can't use it for anything else.
There's some very strict treasury guidelines that
All of a
go along
sudden
with
they-
that money.
we've been
They
doing
don't-
pretty
they-
much what we
They're
want.
not, well, that's
No, no,
because
no,
The
Earl.
deadline's coming.
No,
Earl, what they gave us was like certain amount of time to get a contract started or something, and that obligates the money, even though it might be
Okay.
2 years to build it.
yeah.
So we're getting to that deadline where they want to know that we've committed it, or they're
We
gonna
have to-
plow
We
it
have to
back.
commit it soon.
Well, but under those
Sooner than that.
circumstances, I'm willing to compromise and go down to 300,000.
That was the library, were they?
Because I'm sure over the years, it's gonna get spent.
so if we don't spend it on this project, it can stay in reserve for future expenses to the library
It
building?
has to be expended by
Has to.
2026.
I don't know, that's.
No, I think they can earmark it because it's changed, because that was when I talked to, and I've got to call into,
Yeah. We both know it now, can't think of it. Wendy will,
anyways, the woman I
Yeah.
deal with on the ARPA funds.
Yeah.
If we earmark it, we don't have, it can sit there for 10 years, but it has to be spent on what we earmark it for, what
So are
we
we-
decide to use it for, that's what we have to do.
Would we be wiser to use a smaller amount, a
That's right.
lesser amount?
I wouldn't compromise at less than 300,000.
Okay, but please hear me out though.
Yeah.
Say we use a smaller amount, we would have flexibility of using the difference for something else. And if push came to shove, I guess we'd have to tap into one of the trust funds the library has. Don't forget, we're gonna ask,
Oh yeah, we're gonna still have to do that, Steve, cause I don't think 300,000 is gonna end up covering all
Really?
of that. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do that right.
Yeah.
In today's, and we're not gonna, kinda one-time it or close enough type deal this time.
what's your best guess though?
I'm thinking, I could see that approaching 300, 400,000.
400?
Yeah.
And we don't even know if those trust funds will allow the funds to be used for that, because they still
I think she
haven't.
said they could.
Well, she
I
said they
think
could,
Rebecca said she
and she's
thought,
never seen the damn trust fund, so
Yeah.
I don't put much faith in that. But anyway, I'm glad you reminded us. And I still waiting for them to call, and maybe Brian, you're gonna have to initiate that.
Yeah.
I wanna go through those trust funds, and they said they're not even sure where they are.
Well, they're supposed to have somebody, when they're supposed, once a
investment-
year the guy
The
comes,
Their investment,
that's when you need to be at that meeting.
I told him I'd be there.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
long as it's not in
So you
February.
need.
And he should have, the investment officer should have a copy of that.
Well, he'd have
trust
to.
fund.
I mean,
He
how
has
can
to.
he
How
set
else
up
can he
investment
invest?
objectives if he
Right,
doesn't have
that's right.
the trust?
So, well, let's get back to the issue we were discussing. I can tell you right now, that ain't gonna be there for 10 years. Not even close to it. 2 years, maybe. I mean, if everything goes right, and we can get a plan, and we can get something lined up, it'd be nice to have that done before next winter.
Just help me again, make sure I fully understand. If we use 300,000 of the ARPA funds for the library, and we don't spend it all, we can't keep that excess in reserve for future needs?
For the library,
For
we
the
can.
Library.
For the library.
We could earmark it saying 300,000 for library repairs, and to me, I would keep it general,
Very
Yeah.
simple.
yeah,
and then,
That's what
that's what I think
I'm
the
asking.
question is, so if we spend 280, and we have 20 left, we can still
We can
spend
spend-
20
As
within
long as
that
we can
library.
keep that money in abeyance
Yeah,
for future repairs.
yes.
Because it's never gonna go away.
No,
And
it's definitely not.
Well, the windows.
Now, hey, this is a thought, Kathy, you have to get the answer. If we earmark that much with the contingency that if it only took, say, I'm gonna be more optimistic, 250,000, that other 50,000 could go in, we would go into we're talking about this capital reserve.
you could leave that, you couldn't do that.
You don't
It has-
think-
Once you earmark it for the library, you can't use it for anything
Yeah, but if
else
we
but the
earmark
library.
it with that contingency up to the
No,
earmark.
that's not committing the funds to what you need to commit it to. It has to be committed
Okay.
black and white to what you're.
All right,
doing.
then, so what, we
Can-
have a library one, then
can-
we we're gonna use that
General-
anyways.
Can we commit it to town buildings?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just
use
the town
general
Yeah,
building.
just town building, so then you can use it for.
Oh, okay,
I'll
so
have
if
to
we,
ask that question.
Yeah.
yeah, but if we go ahead and
Stretch
commit
it
that
over.
300,000 now to town buildings, then that would probably give
That would
us,
cover.
maybe you could get it around that way.
That's what I mean, it would give
Yeah,
us
it's more general. It's
a
not
bit
so
more
specific.
general, that
Because that's one other discussion, as long as we're on the general budget, I mean, we have talked about this, but are we gonna put an article for maybe, say, 25,000 just to start a capital reserve for our buildings in the.
Well,
Oh,
from
we
our
should.
new policies we passed, we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to.
And that's
Now,
just
we
good
can-
business.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a line item that
Yeah.
the voters are gonna authorize the establishment.
Yes,
And then, make the first year's, small amount, doesn't have to be huge, but the first year, say 25,000.
Yeah, that's what I was
Then
thinking.
we can review that each year and then just ask them for the authorization to increase that.
I think that's just good,
so I
good
think,
business.
yeah, maybe we'll let Kathy find out that answer, and then at the next meeting, we commit that 300 or something if we're going to.
yeah, we can leave that, we
Yeah,
don't need that
right.
to get this budget done tonight,
Right.
no.
That's right.
But I am at that, 480 minus the 30, so now we got around 450 something, right, in ARPA?
Yeah, 456.
I'm interested in taking the 25 and getting
Well,
going
does
on the
somebody on the
testing.
board wanna make a motion or not?
Ryan,
I'll make that
Katie
motion.
Buckley.
Who wants a
Oh,
second?
Katie Buckley. Oh, we talked about her
So
today.
you're taking the 25,000 out of the
I was thinking
ARPA?
Wendy will.
Yeah.
So if we have 480 something thousand and we save
Not 480.
456.
456, so
Well, that's
14,
after taking out
minus
the additional
300,000.
30,000.
Right, that's is what, no, that's what we have before all this other stuff.
Okay,
so we
so that'll bring us right around 400,000. Plus or minus a couple thousand, cause it's
Yeah.
33 and
So you're
25.
looking to take $25,000 and put it into reserve fund?
No, we're
No,
looking to
what's the
take,
25?
we're looking
That's the
to take
conversation.
25,000 for brownfields.
Oh, okay,
Kathy, do we get interest on this money somewhere? Where we
I
store
don't
it?
think so.
For the ARPA
So
funds?
456 minus the
I don't think
25,
so.
so 425.
there's certain things we can't invest to make money on.
We
Oh,
still
that's
have
one of
100
them?
grand left over.
Okay, all right, good.
What's that?
We still have about 100 grand left over.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get going then.
So we're doing the 25,000.
we got a
I'll second it.
You seconded, alright, motion's been made and seconded to remove the $25,000, for the brownfield for forestry and replace it with $25,000 of ARPA money.
Yep.
Yeah. No more discussion, I hope not. Alright,
Yeah, I wanna amend that because if it's earmarked for 25 and it comes in at 19, we're gonna leave 6,000 of ARPA money.
wow, does that make it ever?
Well, right,
Even towards
we
the
have-
first
we-
No, I just,
Just
wait,
Fourth
let's,
Street.
let's let Kathy answer
Fourth
that.
Street property.
So basically, how soon is the testing gonna be done?
Well, it'd be in the spring, I would assume.
Right.
Okay,
Spring.
I will find that out.
But if we put it for the 4th Street property, then we spend $6,000 for development.
That's what I was
Right,
gonna, that's
well,
what I was gonna amend it
Yeah,
to
and
is,
As
plus,
long as it gets spent on
Yeah.
that, what you're saying.
on the Fourth
on
Street
that
property.
property.
Right,
Right.
because we don't know what, if there's something they find, we have to remediate that.
true, okay,
What's that
I
cost?
wanna throw that in
Expensive
because
part.
Yeah, alright, well,
If we get it too
we never was
technical.
like this before,
Let's
but
do that.
it's our.
apparently they're checking again.
Well, they have changed the rules, they come
Okay,
out
they
with a
have.
new bulletin, as they
Oh,
call
okay,
it.
alright,
Yeah.
alright.
Yeah, they're all,
That's why
I was
I-
reading something federally, they're talking to trying to get billions back now, so they want,
Yeah.
some people are
That's why
saying,
they're
let's
saying
go
to
get it.
commit it now.
Alright, okay, so the motion's been made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, but it doesn't make any difference, that vote.
So now we're working on the,
We're working
on the handout that shows a 13.46% increase
for what?
for the total general fund.
It's like a 3 point, the general
Yes.
point, it's like
Well,
3
Yes,
point.
because of
Three.
that 25
Yeah.
is showing
Yeah, so
on this one.
this is
It's
the,
the point,
Way down at the bottom, Steve, it's a 3.318
Overall, the budget's
Point
not
zero
over
three
last
one.
year.
increase.
But over
Way
here-
down, way down, don't pay any attention to that, way down on the bottom, that's just one item. That's in there, well, the total, what you're gonna pay, Steve, is on the bottom, and it's, the increase is projected to be 0.0318.
That's the tax increase,
Yeah,
and he's just
that-
looking at the budget increase of the 13.
Yeah, of a certain
but
item.
somebody's gonna look at that
And
budget
say
increase and
13.
for Christ's sakes, it's a 13.5% increase.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
if you look at the Swanton Recreation budget, a very easy answer to that. The year before, because of COVID, they had a big rollover. So last year, they didn't only needed to raise 120,000. This year, even though their budget really isn't up, overall, because they had such a carryover, they're asking for 149,000, but, I mean, that's just one of those,
Yeah,
outlier
and that's good.
situations, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
But look at what the Missisquoi Valley Rescue.
Yeah.
Extremely important to our community.
Yep,
That's gonna be one of the smallest numbers we're gonna see
yep,
going forward.
yeah. I mean,
All right,
this general budget doesn't have a lot of extra stuff in it.
no, it's pretty skinny.
And then you look at the 15% for MVR, it's only $30,000, but it looks, and then taxpayers, they look at that percentage, so I agree with you.
Yeah, no, they do.
And the majority of that goes back to the, dispatch.
MVR is
Part of their
Isn't it?
15%.
Right.
Yeah.
And most of the other part is probably.
We're in the wrong line of business, I should open up a dispatch.
we're trying to get away from that.
Increase, it was
I know.
30,000
Dispatch.
from last year to this year.
Put money in it, Brian.
So we talked, it's
Well,
really
it's
peanuts,
really
but
not.
if taxpayer, they get up in front of the camera and they, oh,
Let's make sure I understand. if we have a $350,000 home,
Yeah.
I gotta put another zero in here, I think, I don't get too many. Or Kathy, you can do this.
You just did it.
Okay, what's the .03
It's $111.30
per house
for $350, that's what you said, right?
next year? We're gonna bring their taxes up $111.
Is that the total, that just the increase?
That's the increase.
Just the increase.
It's the increase.
$111 on $350.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking
And
at. you know.
$80 on
$10 a month.
$250.
$10 on the general, yep.
You know, if you only got $11 in your checkbook, $10 is a lot of money.
It certainly is.
But people on disability and
Yeah,
fixed income.
And
the hardship for a
Social
lot of our
Security, yeah.
people. out
And this
there.
is just $10, and the school one is gonna be probably $70, $80 on it, $350.
Yeah, it's the bigger picture that people don't.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's only $10. Yeah, well, what about 10?
For long, they're
12,
living on dock.
23.
But we still have to operate, and we have to provide services, I don't feel that this budget I mean, I don't think we can do better,
No,
No, it's a
it's a good job.
you know, I mean, we're not adding any new stuff in here, you know, and most of the increases are just because, you know, insurance and stuff like that, things that we don't have control
No
over.
control.
And that's the big one to explain, just
Yeah.
the insurance was
Yeah,
that
it
for
is.
the big,
12%.
yeah.
I think it's a good budget.
Well, if you do, then do you wanna make a motion on this budget?
So
So
moved.
before you so move,
Alright,
you're gonna establish the capital reserve,
that's
$25,000.
Separate motion, right?
Yeah.
Right, but where's the $25,000 coming from?
the money we just took out of there.
Where?
We're gonna have the voters approve it, right?
It'd be a separate,
Yeah.
Separate
it'd be a
item.
Separate
article.
25,000.
Go into the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah,
has
so
to
go-
go
I don't
in.
think the
So
number would
I have
change.
to add $25,000 to the
Yeah,
budget.
you'll have to add another
So we're
one.
back to this one.
We're back to the.
Yeah, after that one,
Yeah,
without a line item.
you don't even have to do another one right there again.
It's all
just
done.
gotta change the line item to.
So,
Right, I
it's
got
gonna cost another $9, Steve,
Yeah,
cause we already figured that out.
I'll make a motion, we approve the general budget 2024 as shown with the following changes, the 25,000 that was shown for the cleanup on 4th Street be removed, and we have a separate line item for $25,000 for capital expense.
And also on the town plan expense, that's going from $10,000 to $2,000 down.
So it'll drop it a little bit.
Okay, with the town, what was it,
The
town
town plan expense,
plan expense will be reduced by 8,000.
okay.
I'll second that.
And we'll make a separate motion for the,
I threw the capital in.
Yeah,
I think
I threw it into this one.
Yeah.
He threw
When
it
I
out.
read it, I did.
Okay.
Right, I mean, that's what, yeah.
Alright,
Yeah,
I said to take 25,000 out for the
Yeah.
testing and add 25 for a
Okay.
capital, so it's gonna be a separate line item to do that, but yes. I
just
missed
a
that.
wash.
It will be separate on the
Yeah.
warrant.
It'll be separate on the
Separate
warning,
warning,
yes, but it shows up under the general budget.
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
Christina, do you have that?
I got it.
Okay, so the motion's been made and seconded, and I'm not gonna explain it again. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, so the next budget is the library budget.
Oh, I got a copy.
You can have 3 or 4.
Not tonight, I was working.
So the highway budget, you'll make a motion on that one after?
Yes.
Correct.
Highway, that already did.
We did, but we have to finish it when she goes, she's gonna do the number.
Oh, after the,
Yeah,
exactly,
yes, yeah, I'm sorry, yep.
Okay, so we got a 6.5% increase, and that's basically what we approved for their salaries. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, that includes like there's a little increase in the
Yeah.
Medicare, retirement, unemployment taxes, the childcare taxes.
And you had a $14,000 variance,
Yeah, so the actual total budget for 2024 is $227,086 minus the $14,583.12, which means the amount raised by taxes will be $212,502.88, which equates to 0.0296.
Did we get our other questions answered from the other night?
No.
Bank accounts, statements?
Well, that doesn't have nothing to do with this budget.
Yeah.
This is,
But no.
this is the town's
Oh,
budget.
yeah,
the town-
payroll.
yeah.
Right.
Oh,
but
okay,
it's a good question, Joel, and we probably won't get an answer until we go over and sit on the
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to throw that grenade
No,
out.
no, it's fine. I know, it's hard to.
I knew salaries we were paying for, but I thought maybe it was added into the other and I didn't go
Oh.
down through all the,
No,
I get
that's
it.
fine.
And Brian,
I'm learning.
I have just a question that may not be related to this. The childcare that the state is putting out.
Yeah.
And it's gonna cost, if a family gets some of that money, do they get a 1099?
I don't know.
It's going, what it is the registered daycares can, if people go to them, there's a formula they can fill out that they can qualify for some money to come from the state to go to the daycare, that's what
Yep.
this is for.
It's a subsidy.
It's not-
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not for the individuals.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you're an individual and the state pays for your childcare, do you get a 1099?
I don't know any places.
No, I
state
think it's
pays
like
for
an
childcare.
assistance, it's no different than if you
Okay,
got
I'm just
assistance
curious.
from anything else.
So it's free money?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know,
Well,
if free was the
No,
right
we
word.
pay it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
You can test my feelings for my sarcasm.
I got you, let's pick it up.
So
and put it down.
the previously approved line item for the capital, fund will include like the library. It'll be for town,
If it goes, it's
Building.
going into.
town
Town
buildings
building.
or town properties.
Short of the
Highway, right, cause that's a separate,
Yeah.
but yes, okay. Just one, yeah.
Yeah. Including the historical building, I mean, the
Railroad depot.
you know, the library, this building, you know, whatever else we acquire.
Yep.
So, is everybody happy with this library budget? Then make a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second,
Alright, motion's been made to, approve the 2024 library budget as presented. All those in favor?
Alright.
Alright, motion carried.
now your question, Mr. Chair, are we happy with the budget? He said if you're happy with it, approve it. So we
No,
got
I
there.
didn't go in there.
We got any more budget?
No.
Good discussion though, like,
Yeah, it was.
thanks for your patience and to the new kid here.
Lot of work. Somebody said Kathy worked 12 hours yesterday?
Yeah,
She did.
And,
Or like Monday or whatever the hell, on the day outside
It was
was.
yesterday, Monday, yeah.
I didn't even dare call her today.
Roughly 12. See, I can see when I can see whoever comes in the building because
Well,
it
you
shows up
work
on the
too.
alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't work that many hours, so she came in at 6:30 in the morning, and I saw that. And then, she left at 6 o'clock last night.
So you
Yeah.
bought lunch for her?
And maybe it's,
No, she was working away. I was here
Long
and
we're
it
done.
was very quiet, I will say, it was very
Don't
quiet.
answer the phone, just
Yeah.
quiet things at a time. So that everything's.
maybe I'll take a minute here to recognize Kathy for the work, yes, you do.
Yes, you should.
By all
be.
means.
You know, and you have to put up with a lot of, you know, the stuff we used to wander around in when we were kids. And we, you know, between your toes, you remember the field?
Yeah.
Pasture pies. Oh, yeah.
Where, DC, where you putting that on?
And I just wanna make sure you know we do appreciate it,
Thank you.
Our
okay?
community is lucky to have you.
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah. Right.
Alright, we'll move on to Old Town business then. And we got a follow-up discussion on public hearing, and I assume that's where these letters are gonna come into play,
right,
right?
yeah.
That was the plan, okay.
Brian, you tried liquor control?
Yes,
I
I
did.
Yeah,
Okay,
you did.
It's on
I
there.
missed it, sorry.
got you.
The first letter was put together by Joel, that we were gonna present to the community. I think it's would cover what we've been talking about fairly well for the community.
Yeah, I didn't try to summarize the whole meeting.
Yeah.
I really wanted to get out what we talked about was, some of the common themes, but that making sure people understand we're not
Yeah.
looking at
Right.
24/7 on this
Yeah.
budget.
Yeah,
And that we unanimously support the 10-hour.
yeah.
It's really good
proposal.
that it's explaining it to them.
Yeah,
There's so
that's
much
what we-
confusion out there.
Oh, then that's why if we get this out, and
Yeah.
you guys got ways to send it to
Yeah.
different people, that's the thought process behind it.
Okay, so we would, put this on our website, and I guess, do you want to send it to the paper too, so they can, letter to the
You
editor?
can, yeah. Sure, we'll send that.
And, you know, it
Social
can be,
media.
it can be signed by the select board.
Good idea.
I got the originals here someplace.
I gotta get me a magic pen like Mr. Bourgeois. You always have a nice pen.
My third one, gone through two before this.
So, now we'll go on to Brian's letter. And this one was intended for the village trustees.
Excuse me.
Couple of things, well, two. So, when you get down into the third paragraph, overall, it seemed to be the consensus of those present that 24/7 coverage was not needed at this time. I don't know if we really wanna put it that way. I think the way it ought to be put is that, without question, 24/7 coverage would not be affordable at this time, based on what people said. I don't wanna, make it sound like, because there were people there that do have concerns about police. But they can't pay that kind of bill.
Could we just add 2 words to that sentence then? Just the 2 words, because of affordability?
Yes,
Yes, it's not needed at this time because of
Yeah.
affordability.
So it gets the point across
Yeah.
and the reason why.
yes.
Okay.
And I would go down on this, there's also some reluctance, I think concern is better than reluctance, I don't, because that's indicating that maybe the people in town don't think police and fire, protection is important, and I don't believe that's what we got out of that meeting.
Where was this?
Right, if you finish up the sentence we were just on, and it starts, there was also some reluctance. And I would put concern, I think concern is better, because.
Concern instead of
Yeah,
reluctance.
because that represents a concern over the increasing costs. It isn't that they,
Yeah, I like it worded that way, but I'll say I heard of a fair number of people saying, we don't need the police coverage. But the biggest reluctance I think was related to the cost piece.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's, if it was the same price as it was, they'd have been, give us more.
Well, I think, taking a look at some of the comments, I sat there and the people who, for the most part, who said we didn't need police, I knew they were gonna say that.
It was true.
Over the years.
Yeah.
I just knew, and then that's their right to say that, and, but I can change that to concern of the 70 hour, that's okay.
Anybody else got any input on, they'd like to put onto there?
I mean, we could spend hours and change and do some wordsmithing, but
Yeah,
I think the consensus is right in this one.
Yeah.
That meeting.
yeah.
So what I can do is,
Yeah, I just wanna jump in, are we giving the village enough love here? I don't mean to say it flippantly, I mean, the intent of this letter is to let
Well,
them know we had the
okay,
meeting.
You bring it up.
Cause what you brought up at the last meeting was, they came to us
Yeah,
asking about 24/7 coverage. So we wanted to answer that, so I just wanna make sure in here, either at the very beginning or at the end, we are letting the village know, we appreciate the fact that they'll be letting us contract with them.
well, maybe you could close with another paragraph that says, that, we're, like everyone else, we'll be watching, the outcome of the vote at town meeting time, and if the village trustees have to come up with another plan, based on that vote, we certainly are interested in participating, and, maybe we, could further this talk of, 24/7.
well, that's what I was trying to do with the last paragraph I wrote there.
It's on the back.
On the back.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Going forward, we look forward to working with you in addressing the public safety needs of both the town and village and so on.
That's a nice catch-all.
Do we just open up with a sentence of, this letter is to tell you what, that we had to hear, and in our response to your request for 24/7 coverage, I don't know, maybe I'm asking.
Okay, you're bringing up, just made me think of something. It's not only that January 10th meeting, I mean, we've all heard from citizens in the town. I mean, so, I mean, you gotta add, you know, not only that, but plus all the, you know, I don't know how to say it the right way, but people have approached the select board members, you know, every one of us, and we've all heard it, you know, so it's not only that meeting. I mean, there's been numerous residents that have, voiced their concerns, you know, to
I would do an
For the
addition
select
to,
board.
so
Yeah, in addition
held
to,
a public hearing
Yeah.
last Wednesday, the January 10th,
Yeah.
in addition to the,
In response to your proposal for
Ongoing.
24/7 coverage, our public meeting of 10 January and other input from the citizens,
yeah.
here's our, here's our response or something, but.
Have you had any interaction, Brian, from the town officials from that meeting? I'm sure they all watched it.
I'm going to lunch with the village manager tomorrow, so.
Well, who's gonna pick up the tab tomorrow?
I don't know who's, we alternate back and forth, so we, I can't remember whose turn it is, but. So in response to your proposal to us of a 24/7 police coverage,
You know.
yeah, and I can wordsmith something there.
Yeah, I put that down, in response to your proposal for 24/7 coverage, our 10 January public hearing and additional public input, we wanted to provide you where we are with
Yeah.
the, wanting police coverage or something
Yeah.
like that. That's a thought.
Okay, if I could just take your notes.
I will write it better than that and hand it to you, because only I can read that.
yep, you're right there.
Oh, yeah, I know that, I know
Need a
that.
fountain pen then. Sure, you can read it.
See.
That's why
And
I write with them.
maybe just to sweeten that up a little bit, and I think it should, because I believe this is a true statement, is, you could say the select board, along with the majority of the public opinion we've heard, acknowledges that the police station is
Yeah.
currently grossly inadequate.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that, yeah. Anything else? Well,
Did you just want me to write it?
you want to talk some trouble? Go ahead.
I said, did you just want me to write it and you can tell me what to write? No,
I think we're, you know, letting them know we support them, keeping our relationship
Yeah.
positive and.
You know, I think there might be some concern, and maybe I'm hoping that the village trustees and the village manager, and especially, Matt Sullivan, the chief, is not taking this the wrong way, because we do support policing. We know we need it, and.
I don't think they are.
I hope
No,
not.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I don't think so.
Because that's not the case at all.
No, I certainly haven't
Yeah.
felt that at all.
I've had a couple conversations with the chief and it's not even remotely close.
And, you know, make sure you relay that to Bill.
Yeah.
So if that's it on the letters, you know, basically,
if you
Brian,
wanna-
get it redone and.
Yeah, this one is set to go, so if
Okay.
you wanna sign that tonight.
Yeah, oversight, they're all.
Okay, I know we gotta want one,
I
okay.
think the police department's got a big PR program that they ought to embark on. You know, I don't think people realize what job they
One at a
do.
time,
I
right?
have no idea what the requirements
Double
are
check
that
with
they're
your
doing.
stuff.
Yeah.
And they got a good,
No, they
good
don't.
team of police. Their
Right on the ball.
team is
They
pretty
need to
sharp.
do
Sure.
some real detective
That's
work.
just the
Okay.
beginning of it.
Okay, so you wanna give this, that one, make sure this one goes back to Brian, the rest go to
Oh,
Kathy.
sorry.
Okay, and you'll make the adjustments on the other one?
Yeah.
And, can everybody get in this week and get it signed? Is it possible?
Sure.
Yeah, they'll be ready tomorrow.
Just send us a reminder, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can start that.
This is for the letter. That's, that goes to you for the letter, which is this letter. Oh, Steve needs to sign this one.
Alright, library basement repair work, anything good on that? Not really, right?
Sign there, please. Well, yes, there is. There's a couple of things. First of all, the job was completed the other day, Friday. There is, we've got to figure out where we're gonna send that water, because that's, it's not gonna be able to be hooked into the sewer as originally intended. So I'm gonna get together with, try to get Dean from the village to meet with me. There's a storm drain out in the parking lot, so that's going someplace there, so we'll try to figure that out. I've got one contractor that looked at it today, is working up a quote. I've got a quote, and I've contacted one who said no, he wasn't interested. So I'm getting a third quote, and contacting somebody tomorrow. Last week, Christina and I went to A1 Carpet and picked out some flooring. It's, we're not gonna put carpet in, it's gonna be a, it's gonna be the, well, I can go get a sample, I'll show you. Like that.
We got 2 more left on that one. In case you were losing track.
Oh, that's right, this one here, we already talked to him. You already brought that up? Joe.
I don't know if he wants more to bring up.
Joe, can you bring up any more on the LTV?
LVRT?
No.
No, just, things are on for designing next month and, no, things are progressing.
What you were gonna bring up was the additional.
Yeah.
This is what the flooring material is, very
Oh, that
heavy,
water-
hard,
Scratch resistant.
Right.
Yep.
and
Waterproof.
it's waterproof. It'll go on now it's, it was, whoops, sorry. It's, it was fairly expensive. Originally we thought, we gave them to quote us 1,500 square foot, but we remeasured that room today in 1,100 square feet. So, this material would be about $4,000.
Yeah.
And then there's a glue that is used, the compression glue, which probably run about, it'll take less than that too, but I'd say probably running about 600.
Yeah.
So that would be the total price, that's from A1 Carpet.
Yeah.
So I would,
They didn't, don't they install as well?
we'd have to pay for it.
Well,
So
yeah.
we would, the contractor, I'm having a contractor give us the price to fix the sheetrock
And the floor.
and the floor
Yeah.
and paint. As long as they're down there, they might as well paint it.
Yeah.
And so it's complete
Yeah.
in one price. So what I'm looking for is, and I, you know, A1 is a local company. And just if I can go ahead and order this so that we don't have to wait for it.
So, there's gonna probably, I don't know. We don't have time to go out for a request for proposals.
And this is a small amount.
Yeah, but the total job probably gonna be about 10 grand.
Right, yeah.
I know that, the last conversation I had with Abby, that I think it was a $5,000 grant they had, so hopefully we can use, you know, that and a little bit more of that ARPA money, which we're designated for it, you know, to cover the costs on it. I also talked with Abby, and she said one of her only concerns right now is that come winter vacation, they have several programs for school kids that are already booked. So they'd like to get that space downstairs back, because that's where that stuff takes place, so, you know, they're trying to get it done by then. The guy that you talked to would probably have a proposal here pretty quick.
Pretty quick, and he said once we tell him yes, he could have it done, start work on it and done within 20 days after he starts, which
That would be,
okay.
that would be a time, yeah, it would make it, yeah.
The other person,
Yeah.
that Abby mentioned today, but I'll give him a call tomorrow,
Yeah.
is David Winchester.
Yeah,
It is.
And see what, have him do it and see how fast he can do it.
Water.
Is he a
Yeah.
contractor?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I thought he was like an architect or something.
well, he does it both, I guess.
so, if we get all the information this week,
Yeah.
really, we need to approve it, you know, make a decision. You know, he's gonna wait for the two contractors to come in with the price, we know we wanna go with the floor, because that's the best flooring for that type of situation, from what I've been told and what Brian's been told. In fact, I've seen this be used and quite successful in my own house. It worked great on a slab, so it got really deep.
Well, could we give Brian authorization to spend up to, and that way he didn't have to come back to us?
Okay, that's another option.
Well, what I could do, we're gonna talk about this anyhow, is next week, we're gonna have a special meeting, but you're leaving.
Oh, it won't be here, no. Maybe I will, depends on my wife divorcing me, I'll be here, but if I'm still married, I'm going.
We gotta get the warning done and approved. And that'll take a special meeting, and plus there's some grant documents for the Abnakis that we've gotta do. I thought they were all set, but then Liz, their grant writer,
Now, we-
found out the state changed the forms. So,
When I was talking to Kathy today and Tanya, I do have that stamp, but, do I have to authorize that in writing, just so?
No.
No,
We only need 3 to approve it, right? Yeah, so if we come in and approve the articles, so.
Yeah.
and then they could put my name on there with the stamp. Because I'll approve it, I mean,
Well, we don't even need to, as long as we.
No,
have
we
3
don't
people,
need
As
to,
long as we get the approval, right?
Yeah.
You just wanna get an official memo
yeah,
approving the warrant.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, like, I thought maybe a noontime
One
meeting
day.
next week, one day next week,
for the warning.
for the warning, the Abnaki, I could just bang that out real quick. 'Cause it's
And
standard
look at the
stuff.
contract, right?
And then we award the contract.
Will that make that time schedule?
Well,
Early in the week would be better than that.
well, what, time schedule for
We need
the,
to have it done and the stuff moved by winter vacation, which was
Well,
last week in February.
last week in February, that's a month.
Yeah, that's
We
over.
have to be done, we're going to print.
No, we're talking the repairs in the
Oh,
library.
we're talking about.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
So today's the
should,
16th, so if you have that meeting, like say Monday or
Monday or
Tuesday,
Tuesday,
should be able to get it done.
yeah, that's why I wanna, I'd like to get this stuff ordered
Yeah,
ASAP.
Okay,
So if
so-
I have approval to order this.
yeah. Okay, so you want a motion to allow you to order this
Right.
for amount not to exceed, let's say $5,000, does that say?
No, I'd say 5,500.
55, all right. So does somebody wanna make that
I'll
motion?
make a motion.
Second.
Brian.
Anybody want a second?
Joel.
Anybody second it?
Joel.
Alright, so the motion been made and seconded to authorize Brian to spend up to 5,500 for the flooring. Any more discussion? No, all those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, you're all
Okay,
set.
so we'll go over there tomorrow and get
How do
that.
we wanna handle the sheet rocking and painting? Is that gonna be a,
That's gonna, the prices he's getting are included, that is included.
Yeah, that's all included.
in the 5,600?
No,
I was gonna say,
this is for the flooring.
This is just for the flooring material, the 5,600 is just for the
Yeah.
flooring.
Okay, and how about for the sheet rocking?
Well, we're gonna see.
That we don't know
If he
yet.
has the numbers for next week, we'll
Yeah.
do it at that special meeting.
Alright,
Okay, so that takes care of that. Continue 4th Street front, but we pretty much discussed that too already.
Yeah, and that's actually listed twice on the agenda.
Okay,
Yeah, the only thing, Earl, is I think one of the reasons I asked to have it brought up, I think Steve shares the same with me, and probably everybody does, but in the meeting the other night, it came up that we should be selling that property again, and I think the select board, I wasn't on at the time, I was at the meeting where they committed to that, going to the rec after cleanup. That is, one of our only open pieces of property in the village, and,
Well,
I think we should say we're still committed to,
I think we need to clarify what the select board at that time agreed to. They agreed that, if the rec had a use for that property, but they haven't proposed any uses at the present.
we did. We came in and showed the youth ball fields. I did the
The
print.
designs.
I showed it to the board.
All
Could
right.
we say that we wanna reaffirm the use of that property for the community? And then we can kinda go either way, because if it's not gonna be used for the rec, at least we're gonna preserve it
Yeah,
for the community use or something like that.
okay, if that's what,
That,
No, I agree.
yeah, I,
Yep.
but you're gonna make a motion that says, for the time being, we're
I'd
gonna
make
keep
a
that for
motion that we-
community use.
I'd make a motion that we reaffirm the select board's commitment to utilize the 4th Street property in the best interest of the community.
Okay.
Simple as that.
All right,
And-
you got a second on that? All right, so is
But we
anybody,
wanna be careful, I was just thinking, maybe we wanna, I don't wanna restrict it by saying not for commercial development, but I guess we could get around it if we just said what's best for the
well, I
community.
suppose if something else came up that was best for the community and everybody agreed to it, we could.
Yes,
We're,
you're
cause we're
right.
just
Yeah,
reaffirming.
we're just,
Reaffirm.
Yeah.
okay, so the motion's been made, that, did you get the motion down? And seconded, so, any more discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Right,
Okay, now, 4th Street testing, we pretty much discussed that, or
Right, we did.
discuss any more you wanna bring up?
No, I was in contact with, Eric Urch, who's the senior project manager at Atlas Technical Consultants. They were the people that, worked on it, did a lot of the preliminary work. And, back in last March, they had proposed to do the remainder of the work at $18,937. This morning he emailed me, I explained to him, we're just interested in probably just going forward, but what would the price be? And they said they would honor that price.
Let's do it on the-
Almost a year
And we have the money in our budget, so. Yeah, we got.
Well, from our,
Yeah.
So,
Do we just,
all I need is a motion to authorize me to tell them to go ahead.
to sign it, do
And
we
then-
have to sign any contract? No.
They'll send it for.
Okay, so we're gonna authorize you to tell them that we wanna go
Right,
ahead and for
and
you
to
to sign the
Yeah.
contract.
okay, did we
And-
put this up to bid? I can't remember.
No, we
No.
did not, and part of the reason was we did, Brian finally found actually not the company, but the people that were involved with it to start
Oh, I
with.
remember that.
Yeah, so it was, instead of putting it back out the bid, and it probably would've came back a lot higher, because they had to start from scratch, that's what our feeling was at the time. So, does anybody wanna make a motion to, have Brian notify him that we wanna go forward with this and authorize him to sign the contract?
So
For
moved.
18,000, whatever.
937.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Okay, second it, Steve?
yeah,
Alright, motion been made and seconded, for what I just said.
Okay.
Is there any more discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Alright.
Alright,
Okay.
good.
There, where's,
this, I think we'll have a little bit of discussion that would fall under this community and economic development, your executive session,
yeah.
okay? Any other necessary business,
Liquor
okay?
control.
Oh, that's right, we gotta go to the liquor, we gotta recess our select board meeting and enter into the liquor control board meeting. Somebody want,
Motion to exit our regularly scheduled select board meeting and enter into the liquor control board.
I'll second.
alright, motion been made and seconded to exit this meeting and go to the liquor control board meeting, all those in favor?
Alright,
Alright.
Okay,
Okay, so I have 2 liquor licenses, actually, second-class liquor licenses, tobacco and tobacco substitute renewal licenses for Jolly Associates in RL Valley. And there's been no violations, and
somebody wanna make a motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve them.
I will second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to approve the licenses requested. All those in favor?
Aye.
alright,
Motion carried.
I'll make a motion, oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
No,
That's it, right? We're done?
that's it. That's
I'll
it.
make a motion to exit the liquor control board and resume our select board meeting.
I'll second.
Oh, wow, we got everybody really. Okay, the motion been made and seconded to leave the liquor control board meeting and go back to our select board meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, motion carried. So, that special meeting to sign, okay, we just discussed that.
So what day did you pick?
What day, you were talking like next Wednesday or Tuesday or something?
Next Monday.
Monday, okay.
If at all possible, at 12 noon.
Okay.
Monday.
Wow, if you're gonna do it next Monday at 12 noon, I will be here. I ain't leaving. Boy, that's gonna, ooh, maybe I'll be staying here if I tell Susie that, but, we're leaving at 2:30 out of Plattsburgh.
Yeah,
No,
you
no,
won't-
no,
you won't be
Could
here
you
for me
move
to-
it to
No.
11?
I would say you're not gonna make it.
Yeah, you need to
Not
be
gonna
there.
make it? Alright, don't even
It's,
fool
it's
it,
pretty
eh?
straightforward
Even,
stuff.
even you'd kill me, okay.
We just won't make
And you're pretty easy
Don't get
going.
off to a bad foot.
And you're pretty easy going, so okay, I'll take your advice.
I suggest you continue to
Okay.
Plattsburgh.
Bye, Earl.
So for everybody else, noon on the 22nd, is that,
What day is that?
that's Monday.
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 Yeah, I can make it.
Yep, I'm good.
Nicole?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so that will be,
So
Yeah,
noon though, right? Yep.
let's put it this way.
Something going on.
You'll have that warning, you're doing all the warning work, right?
Tanya and I and Brian, actually, all three of us do it. We fill in the numbers, and which
You
we
got-
couldn't do until we fill in all those
Right,
numbers.
right, I know.
So once they get filled in, and then we're gonna construct the, capital reserve warning, we're
Yeah.
gonna construct that,
Yeah, you have to get the wording right for
Yeah.
that, yeah.
and then we'll put it together.
Well, I would see it, and you'll be emailing that
Oh,
stuff
you,
out,
I definitely, yeah, we can email
Oh,
it
yeah.
out.
so I can call in and say, yeah, I love it, or,
Yeah.
okay. Alright, you got any correspondence?
no, you gotta select the select board chair.
Oh, that's right.
Board.
I thought we did discuss that a little bit the other time we were
Alright,
here.
but we gotta
Last
do
meeting.
it officially
Okay.
tonight.
So we had this discussion at the last meeting, both Steve and I won't be here for the first meeting in, February. And I feel it's impossible to chair a meeting over Zoom. I guess you could do it, but I wouldn't be comfortable doing it. So then it was, of course, Nicole will be our next ranked senior member, but because of her position with the rec department,
Can we make a nomination right now?
yes.
Joel, please. He might have the experience, you know?
Yeah, by all means.
Are you gonna second that?
I second that.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to have Joe chair, the first meeting in February. All in favor?
All right,
Alright, okay, motion
Okay.
carried, alright. Correspondence,
We don't have any.
alright, public comment, nobody's here tonight.
Well, I would just like to say thank you to the highway department out there, they're doing a great job when I was out earlier. at
We
least in
missed the
West Swan.
upcoming events.
I'll add them. So there's
Okay, upcoming events, we have nothing here, that's hard to believe.
No, she's gonna give them
There's
the,
a
Oh,
PC
okay.
meeting next Wednesday, DRB is Thursday. And then the next regular select board meeting will be February 6th.
You ready? Or how are you? Want somebody to do
Well,
it?
she just said it, you want me to say it again?
Well, I don't know how, if they heard it on the camera, I just wanna make sure.
She's got a mask.
You just want me to say it, don't you?
Yes. No. Alright, so we do have executive session tonight and it, might take a little bit of time.
What's it related to?
What?
Legal and real estate.
Legal and real estate.
Okay, I'm just,
So somebody wanna make a motion so we can.
I move that we find that we enter executive session for the select board to receive confidential legal and real estate information for which the premature disclosure of it to the general public would clearly place the select board and others at a substantial disadvantage.
I'll second.
Who made, okay, you seconded, motion been made, for motion number one, all those in favor?
Aye.